Hey class, if this is a suggested video for you on the Unit 8 quiz, then it means you've missed something, some question that was related to z-scores. And up here in the upper left corner, there's literally about 5 questions in a row on the quiz from around question 10 through, I think, 14 that are all very, very similar and very much the same thing. And you'll notice it says use the normal distribution of heights. It gives you the mean and the standard deviation, but it says with standard scores. And standard scores means the same as z-scores. So if you were going to do this the long way, then you would go ahead and just draw a picture of the, let me get a pen going here. You would just draw a picture of your normal curve, put the mean in the middle. In this case, it said a mean was 161 centimeters. We're looking at heights of adult women. And then the standard deviation is 5. Well, you don't need to do 5 plus 5 plus 5 and all of that stuff because this is not an empirical rule question. It's not a 68 rule question. It's z-scores. So you just have to realize that the standard deviation is 5 because they gave us that. And you would use the z-score formula. And this first part, these are typically multi-part questions. It says the percentage of heights greater than 156 centimeters. So I would put a 156, which is, obviously lower than 161. So put it to the left. And I would take that 156 number, and in the z-score formula, you take the value that you're converting minus the mean, which we were told was 161, and divided by the standard deviation, which we were told was 5. And when you put that into a calculator, you would do 156 minus 161, which is press enter, and then divide it by 5, and you should get -1. And with z-scores, we typically round it to 2 decimal places. But that's not your final answer. You're looking, that's not even a percent. That's a z-score. So you would come up here and click on the table and go find the -1 standard score and realize that it says right next to it 15.87%. Well, all of these percentages in this table are percent below. That's real important, percent below. So that would mean that 15.87% of the heights, 15.87% of the heights are below 156 centimeters. But the question said the percentage of heights greater than that. So you would have to realize the total area under the curve is 100%. So take 100% minus the 15.87%, which was below, and you just subtract that from 100% to get what's above. So in the table that they give you, that standard score table, those percentages are always below. And if the question asks above, you would have to do 100% minus that. So like in this case, 100% minus 15.87% is 84.13%. And of course, make sure you're rounding it to the appropriate place. It said percentage to 2 decimal places. So that seems to be appropriate. So you can do it that way. But honestly, my suggestion, because it's easy to get careless and make errors when you're doing the z-score formula and rounding and so forth. My suggestion is to come over here to the website that was provided for you in this Unit 8 slides. And also I gave you the link, I think, in my first discussion post. But just come over here and let the website do the work. As long as you have an understanding about z-scores and percentages under the normal distribution curve, then, you can come over here and just put in your mean. Well, our mean was 161 over here. Our standard deviation was 5, and that's given in the problem, and it will be given in the problem. And when it said to find the percentage of heights greater than 156, I would just check the above radio button because we're looking for heights greater, keyword greater than 156. And I would change this number to 156. Press enter. And look how quick and easy I got my answer. Same thing I got over here. And all I've got to do is remember to move the decimal point because it's already going to be to 2 decimal places. So it's just really quick and easy to use the website to do the standard score questions. Now, if it's an empirical rule question, you got to use the other worksheet I provided, and there's also another video for that. But there's about 5 in a row on the quiz, 10 through 14, where it's going to say use these standard scores. You're welcome to do it the long way as I've shown, but it's so quick and easy to use the website where if the question says greater than, you click above. If it said less than or below, you would click this one. And if it gives you 2 numbers and wants the percentage between, you would just click this radio button and put the lower number there and the higher number here. Then you press enter and you'll get your answer automatically down in this bottom box. So hopefully that'll take some stress out of doing those standard score questions. They're really easy. There'll be multiple parts, but all you got to do is come over to that website and just keep changing the numbers based on what you need.